This year's Q&A is over, and now I'm going to answer the questions that I got. 80ball Media asked, would you do a top 25 favorite SpongeBob episodes? I don't plan on it because ranking the best is a lot harder than ranking the worst. I also feel like it's more entertaining making negative countdowns than making positive ones. What are your favorite shows for girls? I don't watch any. Thoughts on Phantom Strider, Mr. Enter, Animat, and Nostalgia Critic? Phantom Strider and Mr. Enter, I used to enjoy it until Phantom Strider's videos became a lot weirder ever since his list of bad cartoons that got good, and Mr. Enter keeps pausing his reviews to go on about stupid garbage that no one cares about. I haven't seen Animat's videos, but I do like to watch the Nostalgia Critic. Alyson Matson asked, what is the most underrated game of 2020 in your opinion? Well, I haven't played a lot of games that came out in 2020, and I don't know about many being underrated, except maybe Shantae and the Seven Sirens, because not a lot of people talk about it. Heck, even I forget about it sometimes because of how little it's talked about. Anna Xisca asked, thoughts on Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity? Pretty good so far. I'm not enjoying it as much as I should though, but maybe that'll change. Have you ever watched Code Lyoko? Would you give the series a try someday? I haven't even heard of it. What is your favorite tri-group commentary overall this year? I actually don't remember seeing any commentaries from this year that I enjoyed. In fact, I actually don't really enjoy watching commentaries as much as I used to. Probably because I don't think that people choose as interesting commentary material as they did back in the day. I still enjoy making them, but not so much watching them, unless the commentator and or subject is interesting enough. Angry Birds Fan 168 asks, what do you think of the Angry Birds brand? Do you mean the franchise? I've played Angry Birds Seasons, and I loved it because of the different environments, and I found the movie to be a guilty pleasure. Haven't seen the sequel though. What was the worst game you have played? Final Fantasy III on the DS because of the cringe-inducing graphics and music, and the terrible gameplay mechanic of downgrading stats when you change classes, and the lousy villain. Did you watch the Sonic movie? And if so, what are your thoughts on it? I enjoyed it, but it did kind of feel like a Detective Pikachu ripoff in a way, to the point where sometimes I forget that Sonic was in the movie and not Pikachu. Animation Unlimited asked, what are you more afraid of, coronavirus or Trump's government? I'll probably have to say Trump's government. At least coronavirus is easily avoidable if you social distance yourself and or wear masks. Who has a better design, Agumon or Gon the Dinosaur? I'm not familiar with either and I think they both look kinda weird, but I'm gonna have to say Gon the Dinosaur. Who is the worst reviewer on YouTube? That would actually have to be a tie between Mr. Enter for completely stalling out his reviews nowadays and not even attempting to entertain his audience, and Commander Xander because, well, I don't know if he's improved on this or not, but I remember seeing him review by just clicking on random points of the movie and calling out mistakes in them without even getting the context to it that was clearly explained in the parts he skipped. And the way he talks in his reviews sounds just so fake. I don't know if that's his actual voice or if he's talking like that on purpose, but I don't know. And if it's the former, then I'm sorry. Augustine Shay asked, can you do a Family Guy top list? That sounds interesting, but also hard to do. I've watched a decent amount of Family Guy episodes, but I'm pretty sure that's less than 20% of the episodes on the show. So even if I do make a countdown on them, it might not be for a long time. Bailey Sheep asks, what's your favorite and least favorite Pokemon? My favorite is Kyogre and my least favorite is Wobbuffet. Banana Slam asks, do you play Fortnite? No. Do you have a girlfriend? Well, I do have some friends who happen to be girls, but I don't really know if I'd be satisfied with any of them being my girlfriend. Bini Lover asks, which Kirby character do you want for Smash? Well, I think it would be pretty awesome if Doroch got in. What was your reaction when you first unmasked Meta Knight? I can't really remember. I was probably like 11 at the time. I think I was probably just like, whatever. Don't know why I was like that. Do you think Tails should be in Smash, or do you think another Sonic character should? Well, it makes sense for him to get in if we could get one more Sonic character, so yeah. Boogaloo Anarchist asked, favorite licensed game? That would either be SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom, SpongeBob Rehydrated, or Toy Story 2 for the PS1. Favorite Zelda game? Twilight Princess. Most disappointing game you've ever played? Even though Smash Ultimate was #1 on my disappointing games list, managed to bounce back up with the DLC, so I'll say Sonic Genesis on the Game Boy Advance. Brad Sega asked, face reveal? I did one almost a year ago. I just haven't shown it that often.
But here's my face again if you want.
Do you plan to do everything wrong with the series with movies? Why does everyone keep ignoring my other website exclusive videos? Yes, I have done everything wrong with videos on movies. I did one on the SpongeBob movie and the Little Mermaid months ago. Do you know Garfield? Yes, but I embarrassingly don't think I've seen his show. Brain Correia asks, how do you feel if Conquer the Squirrel was in Smash Brothers? Well, I do remember watching Nintendo Capri Sun's Let's Play of Bad Fur Day about 5 years ago, and I did not think the game looked fun, because the amount of times you have to keep running back and forth between point A and point B and bring stuff back. I did, however, have good memories of the Let's Plays, so I bet Conquer would be an interesting addition, as long as you don't get his P attack. Brian Strange asked, do you play Five Nights at Freddy's? I haven't. Do you watch My Life as a Teenage Robot, Invader Zim, and Rabbids Invasion? The only one of the three that I've seen is My Life as a Teenage Robot, and I remember liking it. But one thing I did not like was this one episode that teaches kids that people who go to Disney World are horrible because they're enslaving innocent robots. What do you think of fan games? I haven't played any, but I've seen some fun looking ones like Zelda's Birthday, or do ROM hacks not count? If not, then, well, I have seen this cute looking game called Ares Action. I don't know if I'd be able to play it or not since it's one of those trap platformers. Not to mention, Aerie is one of the stupidest protagonists I've ever seen, since she's risking all of her lives for a stupid melon. How can she possibly be this brain dead? Brodee asks, what would you say is the game you're most conflicted on? I don't know if there's any game I'm having trouble deciding on if I love or hate, but Brodee said anything works, including if there's something I'm conflicted on with the game, and for that, I'm going with Fire Emblem Three Houses. As much as I love the game, I'm extremely conflicted of if it was okay to choose the Crimson Flower route or not, since the game only gives vague reasons as to why you should choose it, and sometimes I feel like the haters are right and that our only reasons for choosing Edelgard is because she's a waifu. Favorite video game experiences? Probably my journey through the Alola region. If you can make any game, what do you make and what would it be like? I'd probably make remakes of some games like Sonic 06 to get rid of all the terrible glitches because that'll probably make the game really awesome. I'd also remake Fire Emblem Three Houses so we can go back to previous chapters whenever we want, like in Pikmin 3, though that's probably a bad suggestion. And I'd add more cutscenes to the Crimson Flower route so that I can feel less bad for liking it. I'd also have the motives of that route be much better explained. I would also make a remake of Mario 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy, but with actual improvements, and a Partners in Time remake. Or do you mean make a game that's not from an already existing franchise? If so, then I give up. Calm3 Death asks, do you want Sora for Smash? Yes, I definitely do. Do you think Trush is making Trash Kingdom Hearts videos? I don't know much about this person. And are you sure that's the name of a real YouTuber? Because I can't find anyone who goes by that name that uploads Kingdom Hearts videos. If I didn't know any better, I'd say that you were testing me. What do you think of Sherna? Don't know much about this one either. Cheese Doodle asks, what's your favorite Wii game? Either Mario Galaxy or Smash Bros. Brawl. Do you like Space Jam? I haven't seen it, but it looks fun. Could you shout out my friend Mo Lester? We both watch your videos and he's a big fan. I guess maybe I could. I just don't know how I should do it. Cliffordlonghead asks, when are you going to do an Everything Wrong with on Mario & Luigi Dream Team? When I'm done with my Bowser's Inside Story video and when someone does a 4K no commentary of Dream Team. When are you going to do an Everything Wrong with on Mario & Luigi Paper Jam? Same deal as last one, except replace Dream Team with Paper Jam and Bowser's Inside Story with Dream Team. Daniel Carrero asks, who is your favorite Nintendo princess? I'm gonna have to go with either Edelgard or Princess Zelda. What is your favorite and least favorite board from Mario Party 9? My favorite is probably Toad Road, while my least favorite is definitely Bob-omb Factory. Top 3 Fire Emblem dancers? Well, I think I've only seen 3 dancers in all the Fire Emblem games I've played, so I'll say Tethys, Olivia, and Ninian. But if Azura counts, replace Ninian with her. Dark Hour asks, do you ever use diversity like playing different games on different consoles that you aren't familiar with? I don't think I've ever played any except for on my cousin's systems when I was little. Have you ever considered getting a pet? I have a dog. I had her for 14 years. Out of concern, have you managed well despite how rough 2020 was? Yes, I managed well. David Gonzalez asks, who do you ship Sora with? Kyrie, just like everyone else does. Diamond Julien asks, what do you think of Fall Guys? I don't know much about it, but I'm worried its fanbase would make it the next Undertale. Daigo03 asks, what's your favorite non-Disney movie? Either Polar Express, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, or Destiny DX. Who is your favorite supervillain? Does Syndrome count? If so, then him. What's your favorite Pokemon game? Pokemon Sun and Moon. Dolanpar asks, what's your favorite Mario spinoff? Mario Kart 8. What's your opinion on the Mario Remake Collection? Just so you guys know, this comment was posted before the Direct. And I found it really disappointing because I was expecting graphical updates or gameplay improvements or something. Instead, we just got a bunch of ports of already existing games. How was your day and how is COVID-19 doing for you? My day is doing good. COVID-19 is still pretty annoying though, but I can manage. I still feel bad for the people who suffered from it though. Duncan Stevens asked, what's your biggest regret? Would you go back and change it if you could? I've done a lot of really stupid things throughout my life, but probably the worst thing I've done goes back to an old drama from 2011. Skip to this time frame if you don't want to hear it. Back in 2011, I was obsessed with a user named Roshitsu, currently known as Roshitsu Rises, and my obsession became much more apparent when her original account was terminated. She made a new account, but I started acting like a creepy stalker towards her, and it ended up hurting both her and me. I might even be a small part of the reason why she quit commentaries. A small part, but still a part regardless, and I wish I could go back and change that. Do you think you'll ever go back to doing more countdowns or commentaries as opposed to everything wrong with videos? The first two are why I and many subscribe to you. Do you ever feel like you let down your original subscriber base by moving to such a different style of content? I still do countdowns and commentaries, but not as much as I used to. I don't do as many countdowns because, as stated multiple times for the past year, countdown burnout is getting the best of me, so I don't do them as often. As for commentaries, I don't do them as often as I used to for two reasons. One, because I can't find a lot of good commentary material, and even from the material I want to commentate on, I can't because most of it's outdated, and even if I commentate on myself too much at one time, people would give me weird looks. The second reason is because no one ever watches them. If anything, I've actually lost subscribers because of some of my commentaries. I'm sorry that you don't like my Everything Wrong With videos, but a lot of my fans seem to like them. Besides, if Everything Wrong With videos aren't your style, then no one's forcing you to watch them. Do you spend time with your family this Thanksgiving, or do you still work in the kitchen? I'd hate to not see my family for a special holiday. If you are seeing your family, are you having any friends over too? Friends make holidays even more fun. Yes, my job will let me spend time with them, because they don't make me work on weekends or special holidays. As for inviting friends over, I never thought of that. Maybe I could consider doing that sometime. Enrique Pizarro asks, do you know Toho Project? What's your opinion about the franchise? I haven't played it, and I've heard the games are very cheap. What's your favorite Fire Emblem girls? Lucina, Lynn, and Edelgard. Eric Wijaya asks, why do you sound like Fawful, and would you collab with him someday? I don't know why I sound like him, but I guess maybe I could collab with him someday. Next up, we have a couple of questions from Fawful52. What's your opinion on Mario Kart Wii and which character do you use? I use Mario, and I love it. What's your least favorite boss in Paper Mario the Origami King and why? The tape boss, because he keeps sticking tiles together making the fight impossible. What do you think of the SpongeBob episode To Love a Patty? I don't hate it as much as most people do, except for the clown scene, but yeah, it is kinda creepy. Here's some from Gabriel the Magolor main. What is your favorite Monster Cat song? Never heard of it. What is your favorite Kirby Star Allies dream friend? Probably Meta Knight. Game King Lucas asks, would you consider Disney as your favorite movie company and Nintendo as your favorite game company? You bet I would. What is your favorite video game franchise? Pokemon. Here's one from Gamer of Bravery. Do you think of doing any videos on challenge runs or such? By that he means if I've beaten the game without doing a certain thing. I get the feeling I have, I just can't put my finger on it. I do know that I have done some that the game asks you to do, such as beating classic modes in Smash without using a continue, and beating certain bosses in Time and Crafted World. As for if I'll do a video on it, maybe. One of the reasons I stopped doing Let's Plays was because I wasn't very entertaining with my commentary on them. If I do one, it will probably be on a short game, like one that can be beaten in a couple days. God of War Fan 1996 asked, what's the difference between favorite and least favorite Pokemon? By that he means the difference between our favorites and his favorite. His favorite is Gardevoir, and my favorite is Kyogre. Gardevoir can have a gender and is an evolution, while Kyogre is genderless with no evolutionary line, not to mention it's a legendary. His least favorite is Gallade, and mine is Wobbuffet. Gallade is a psychic fighting, while Wobbuffet is pure psychic, and also learns less moves. Honestly, I think that's a weird question, but I'll try not to judge. You probably have your reasons for asking it. Who is your favorite and least favorite grass starter in terms of design? My favorite is either Treecko or Snivy, while my least favorite is either Chespin or Grookey. Warning: spoilers from the Wii version of Xenoblade Chronicles. How do you feel if I told you that Disciple Lorothea 1 of gaming's worst bosses is the one to conclude Melia's story arc? Wow, that's actually pretty insulting. Gnomeboy asks, what's the best and what's the worst fanbase for games you've played? Best, I can't say for certain. Pretty much every video game fanbase I've seen has some toxic members in it, so I can't say for certain. For worst, I'll say either Undertale for the fanboys, Sword and Shield for the toxic haters, or Three Houses because while the game's good, everyone's constantly at each other's throats of whether we should like Edelgard or not. How come you made multiple Everything Wrong With videos on Mario and Luigi and still don't have more than 5,000 subscribers? You are underrated for the quality of these videos. I actually have more than that. Even ignoring my current sub count, back when you asked this, my sub count was at 5,850 subscribers. So that's more than you say, or do you mean why didn't I have more than 5,000 subscribers? Like 6,000 subscribers. In that case then, well, I do now, but to be fair that was after you asked your question. Either way, thanks for that. Hello World asks, what is your opinion on Defawfulizer? I think he makes fun content. For some reason I don't enjoy him as much as I did months ago, but that's probably just a me thing. Now it's Ian Chapman's turn. What is your favorite Metroid Prime game and boss? My favorite Prime game is Corruption, and my favorite Prime boss is Meta Ridley from that game. Have you played any horror games like Resident Evil 2, Little Nightmares, or Outlast? No. What is the worst video game villain in your opinion? Either Xande or Lady Maud. Isaiah Williams asks, When are you going to do an everything wrong with on Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story? I thought for sure the constant demand stopped pouring in after I made that video responding to people repeatedly asking me to do it. I'll do it as soon as someone uploads a 4K walkthrough of the game with no commentary. What is your least favorite Mario game? Donkey Kong Jr. for reasons I'm going to explain in Sugar Bush's question. What is your least favorite Zelda game? That's a difficult question because I don't hate any of the ones I've played. Probably Triforce Heroes because it has the lowest stakes of any game in the series. I know it's probably supposed to, but that doesn't mean I have to agree with it. Though my least favorite is either that or Zelda 2 for being really cheap at times. It's a me asks, have you seen Terminal Montage's videos? If so, what do you think of them? Never heard of him. What's your favorite and least favorite cutscene from the Subspace Emissary? My favorite is Ganondorf Takes Command, and my least favorite is Crushing Defeat, because of reasons I explained in my worst endings, worst villains, and hated characters remake. Do you like Splatoon's final boss? I have a love-hate relationship with it, because while it plays great, they went a bit overboard on the difficulty. James Johnson asked, who would make the best waifu and why? Post-Frozen 2 Enchanted Forest Guardian Elsa? Post-Frozen 2 Queen Anna, whose role definitely deserves more love and recognition from the Disney Frozen's fanbase, and luminescently red-maned human Ariel. I'm gonna have to say Elsa. Which one of these substances would make the gooeyest sounds in an ASMR video, in your opinion? What Play-Doh, fluffy slime, creamy peanut butter, or Calistoga hot spring spa mud? And what made you choose the answer you did? Well, that sounds kinda like a pretty weird question to ask, mainly because I don't know anything of the sort. No offense. I'd probably say the hot spring spa mud for no real reason. If times were still the old normal, who might you have gone to meet at Disney World and why would you choose that character? Probably Anna and Elsa because I really like seeing them, especially since you know how much I love their movie. Jammer439Y8 asks, have you ever heard of the Puyo Puyo series? If so, what's your opinions on it? I haven't played it, but I think it looks kinda interesting with the Tetris style gameplay. Opinions on the Isle of Armor DLC? I think it's fine. Crown Tundra's better though. What's your favorite and least favorite level not counting bosses in each game of the original DKC trilogy and why? Wow, that's a difficult question. I might have to make a few weird guesses on this one. In the original, my favorite might be Treetop Town, and my least favorite is probably Croctopus Chase. In the second, my favorite might be Target Terror or Rickety Race, while my least favorite is probably Gusty Glade. For the third one, this is kind of a wild guess, but it might be Crevice Creepers, and my least favorite might be Poisonous Pipeline. Jasmine Bryant asks, what are your thoughts on Don Bluth's animated films? How would you rank them, and how good do you think Don Bluth's last good film was? I'd say from least favorite to most favorite, at least out of the ones I've seen. Pete's Dragon, Sleeping Beauty, Robin Hood, The Sword and the Stone, The Fox and the Hound, The Rescuers, Anastasia, and The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. I'd say the last good one he made would be Anastasia, but I can't be sure because I haven't seen any after that. Have you seen South Park? If so, what are your thoughts on it? Would you rather watch it or Family Guy? I'd rather watch Family Guy. Truth be told, I'm not really into South Park because I'm not a fan of the animation style, and gross out humor isn't exactly my cup of tea. And its annoying fanbase doesn't help. They say that it's a horrible thing that some of the older Disney movies have potentially racist moments, and act like anyone involved with them should commit suicide, yet at the same time they say it's perfectly okay when South Park does it because it's South Park. Therefore it automatically makes it okay. I do respect the fact that you, John Clancy, and WRJ like it though. What is the worst film you've seen? Rampage. Joseph Piole asks, do you prefer cats or dogs? Dogs by a tiny bit. I used to like cats better until I got a dog. What's your favorite Mario and Luigi game? Partners in Time. Would you ever consider streaming a new game or something like that on YouTube? Probably not, because I don't have enough reactions to stuff in Let's Plays, as shown by the ones I did 8 years ago. Kelvin Sanoja asks, what makes you make YouTube videos? I just think they're fun to make. Kendrick Truong asks, what's your favorite video game of all time? Pokemon Sun and Moon. Do you prefer Fire Emblem Fates or Three Houses? When I think about it, even though I talk about Three Houses more, I think I might prefer Fates by a tiny bit. Now here's some questions from Kirby the Artist. Do you plan on watching the SpongeBob movie Sponge on the Run? Yes! But I'm really mad that Nickelodeon promised they'd release it everywhere on Netflix in November, and then released it everywhere except for America. Favorite boss from Paper Mario Origami King? I feel it might be the Fire Elemental. Have you played any of the other Mega Man Zero games? No, I haven't. I heard they're not as bad as the first Zero though, but this one still looks kinda dull unless I'm looking in the wrong place. Kool Kid asks, what do you think of the Massive Brothers from Dream Team? I think they're fun. Do you have an opinion on Skylanders? Haven't played it, and I can't decide on if I'd be interested or not. Laura Guilemate asks, is Bowser still your least favorite video game character, and if not, who is? He's not my least favorite anymore. Nowadays I have more so of a love-hate relationship with him. My new most hated character is either Silver from the Johto games or Porky from Earthbound. Aside from your number one worst SpongeBob episode, what do you think is the worst episode from a good cartoon? Blue Cat Blues from Tom and Jerry. Lori Taylor asks, thoughts on Pokemon Journeys from Netflix? I've only seen the first episode, and it was pretty good. Thoughts on Pixar's Onward? It was good, but not great. I found the concept of only being able to be with their father's pants to be just beyond stupid, but the story was engaging. If you see the Mulan live-action remake, what will you think of it? I'm waiting to see it until it becomes available on Disney Plus for free. And even then, I don't even know if I'll have it in me to watch it if all the terrible things I hear about it are anything to go by. Lukiko VA asks, what's your favorite video you've made? I'll probably say my saddest moments list. MasterGamer575838 asks, what are your thoughts on console exclusives? I think they're kinda cool, but I also see the problem with them only being on one console. Meme Boy Ultimate asks, from a logical standpoint, which character do you think has the best chance of being Smash Ultimate DLC, whether you want them in or not? I have a feeling probably Cinderace or Frisk. Meseret Habtewolde, I have no idea how the heck anyone's supposed to pronounce that, no offense, but I'll answer your question. Do you plan on remaking any of your old countdowns? Yes, I do. I'm considering remaking my list of town themes, desert themes, hardest bosses, worst final bosses, water themes, and a handful of others. Mikah Cariglio asks, are you excited or not excited for Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory? Well, since the game already came out by Thanksgiving, I'll say what I thought of it before and after it. Before, I was already a little excited for it because we get more Kairi cutscenes, but also unsure why the rhythm segments have PS2 graphics. As for how I feel about the game overall, I think it's just fine. Not great, not terrible, just fine. I wish we got more cutscenes though. What are some of your favorite vocal Sonic songs? Live and Learn, Open Your Heart, Fight the Night, but my favorite would be What I'm Made of. What are some of the hardest bosses in the Sonic series for you? Probably Big Arm, Dark Gaia, and Bio-Lizard. Miss Cookie Man asked, do you have any thoughts on Chris Chan? I heard he's an idiot. Who's your favorite Animal Crossing villager? Isabelle, because she's cute. Do you like capybaras? I don't know much about them. They do look kinda interesting though. Nadia Niazi asks, what do you think is the most underrated game? Either Pokemon Sword and Shield or Fire Emblem Fates. Natan Gitman-Schulte, or whatever his name is, asks, have you played the Danganronpa series, and if so, what are your thoughts? No, and after seeing Josh Scorcher's worst endings list, I heard of a horrible retcon that gives me less of a reason to get it. Nate Clone asked, I understand where the meta comes from in your username, but what about the numbers at the end of your username? They're just random numbers. What is one game that you absolutely couldn't do a CinemaSins parody on? The Xenoblade games, because they're way too long to send. What would you say is your go-to breakfast? I'd probably say these egg-witch breakfast sandwiches or these egg bites. Now that I think about it, Gaston would probably be proud of that. Neon Flash Sparkletron asks, have you ever played the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim or have acknowledged the Elder Scrolls existence? I haven't even played the game. I do remember a long time ago my parents made me buy it because everyone was talking about it. I'm still a bit unsure of if it would be my type of game. I've seen some parts of Steven Plays Let's Play of it back in 2013, and it looked interesting, but not good enough for me, especially considering the outrageous length. Nicolas E. Miranda asks, have you seen VelSkibum94's videos? Yeah, I've seen some. Nicolas Sidlinger asks, which do you think are more disturbing, the Shrooms from Partners in Time or the Moon from Majora's Mask, since they both were on your darkest Mario and Zelda list respectively? I'll probably have to use their appearance as the tiebreaker, and for that, I'll say the Moon. Because while both do scary things, the Moon still looks intimidating while the Shrooms look kinda derpy. What are your thoughts on Doodle Tones? I don't really watch Doodle Tones anymore for reasons I explained in Anna Xisca's question. What video of 2020 are you most proud of? Either my Everything Wrong with Wind Waker, Majora's Mask, or 1,000 Year Door, or my worst SpongeBob episodes. Nintendo Switch Gamer Dude asks, what are your thoughts on the Nintendo Switch rumor? I haven't really read it because I don't want to spoil it for myself. I did, however, hear a rumor about Breath of the Wild 2's potential release date, and I hope it's true. It depends on which rumor you're referring to. If there's one Nintendo Switch Online retro game you want, what would it be? I don't really know what Nintendo Switch Online is, but if it's like the eShop, then I'd say the older Fire Emblem games so we can actually have a way of playing them without using piracy. What is your favorite Switch game of all time? So far I'd have to say either Fire Emblem Three Houses, man I can't believe I'm talking about that game a lot in this Q&A, or Super Mario Odyssey. Nitsuh Abebe asks, what's the easiest and hardest boss you faced? The hardest would be Master Core, and as for my easiest, I'll probably say Chant from Paper Mario. Pierce Reed asks, what if I told you that I like World of Light, Silver from Pokemon, Papercraft Battles in Paper Jam, Bowser, Thorja and Fire Emblem Awakening, and that I actually like Corrin and Fire Emblem Fates? Well, I understand it's your opinion. Also, I don't really hate Bowser as much as I did when I made my Hated Characters remake, and I never said anything about hating Thorja or Corrin. Why do you hate Roderick Rules? I can probably guess why, but I want to know for sure. Because it had awesome potential to make Roderick much more likable, but then blew it. It is also very mean-spirited just like the first, and it had some moments that are just way too horrific and disgusting. especially the pizza and bathroom scenes. I can't really get into 3 houses, those monastery segments just feel too long. Would it be bad if I just played through Black Eagles? That's what I'd personally go with, since I know you like Edelgard and Dorothea just like I do. I better warn you though, Edelgard's route is a little shorter than the others, and it doesn't have as many cutscenes. If you're still okay with that, then I'd say go ahead and do it. Now let's see what Platinum Comics asked. Do you have any plans to make new type of content? If so, what? I'm thinking of making a video tallying kill counts in movies and or TV shows, and I might even do one on some of Dorkly's videos. I'm also thinking of doing Portrayed by SpongeBob videos, but I just never got around to it. Rona Kami at 185 asks, what do you think of Surfetched, Farfetched's evolution in Pokemon Sword and Shield? I think it's good, but I wish its Kanto form got an evolution too. Do you think I've improved ever since I decided to quit commentaries? Yes, I do. You didn't have to quit making them, but yeah, I'd say you've definitely improved. Next up, he says, but I still felt like informing you that this year marks the 5th year anniversary of when I first joined YouTube. I see. Happy anniversary, Rowan! Sizzlerean15 asks, what franchises or series would you like to have RPGs? Assuming Zelda doesn't count since Hyrule Warriors is technically an RPG, probably Kid Icarus. Trust me, I had a look at my notes of what franchises I played in order to decide on that. Favorite waifu? Well, since another user asked me to list multiple of them, I'll list them. Edelgard, Samus, Sonya, Elsa, Zelda, Alexa, Yuffie, and Aqua. And yes, I know most of those are video game characters. Out of which one I like the most, I'd probably have to say Edelgard. Shannon Pokemon and Kirby Fangirl asks, what is your favorite Generation 8 Pokemon? I'd say either Centiskorch or Cinderace. Who is your favorite SpongeBob character? SpongeBob. Do you like dragons? Yep. Here's a question from Suga Bush. Did you ever get to file a complaint to Nintendo about online Mario Maker 2 membership? I don't know how to. Especially since they get probably like thousands of emails a day, so I don't know if they'll even see my email or not. Is there any Mario game you hate more than Dream Team? I told you like 3 times I don't necessarily hate Dream Team, and I'm really sorry if I'm being hurtful, but the fact that you keep going on and on about me hating the game, it further proves my point I brought in my commentary on you, on how it makes you come off as a butthurt fanboy who can't handle other people's opinions. Again, I'm sorry if I'm being hurtful, but you have to learn to let this go. But I'll answer anyways. Donkey Kong Jr., assuming it counts, because it demonizes players of the original Donkey Kong. SpongeBob Plushie Stuff asked, Among Us or Fall Guys? I'd say that Fall Guys seems like the more interesting of the two, even though I currently have no plans of playing either. What do you think of Super Mario 3D All-Stars limited release? I do think it's a stupid thing of them to do. Not that I was even going to buy them anyway, since they're just ports to already existing games with nothing but slight graphical updates. What's your favorite and least favorite Kirby anime episode? I actually haven't watched it. I've been thinking of it though. Super Hetman 15 asked, do you plan on making more worst episodes lists on shows like your SpongeBob one? If so, what? Are you some kind of psychic? I mean, yeah, I do. I'm planning on making a Worst Back at the Barnyard episodes list and a Worst Fairly Odd Parents episodes list, though that'll likely only be from seasons 1 through 8. Because I lost interest around season 9, and I doubt season 10 will be much better if what I heard about it is anything to go by. Especially since there are a lot of bad episodes I want to talk about but wouldn't be able to since most of season 10 would probably knock most of them off the list. Do you watch anime? Only the Pokemon anime. Though I've been considering watching Cardcaptor Sakura or Fairy Tail. Super Mario Plushes asked, what's your favorite Mario game? Either 3D World or Odyssey. Favorite shiny Pokemon? Wow, that's a very difficult question. I never thought about my favorite shiny Pokemon. I'll just take a wild guess and say either Genesect, the Treecko line, the Roggenrola line, or Kingdra. Smash Main? Meta Knight. I'm surprised you didn't know. Here's a question from Tess McGrath. What are your thoughts on the WarioWare games? I haven't played them, but from the looks of them, I have kind of mixed feelings. That guy who likes booze asked, are you interested in the upcoming 3D World remake? I already have the game, but if the new Bowser's Fury mode seems interesting, I'll get it. The Black Shadow 387 asked, what are your thoughts on LEGO Mario? Haven't played it, but it looks kinda interesting. Smash Ultimate DLC fires from worst to best? It would probably be Joker, Terry, Steve, Hero, Product Plan, Banjo and Kazooie, Min Min, and Byleth. Time for the final boss beaters question. Have you played Paper Mario 64? Of course I have. I started playing around this time 11 years ago. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done everything wrong with video in it a year and a half ago. Your turn, the gaming platypus. How would you feel if Masahiro Sakurai wrote and directed a Kingdom Hearts game? He'd do a much better job than Nomura, because any game developer is smarter than Nomura. The Greeny Tripper asks, what are your thoughts on Chugga Conroy's new Let's Play? I'm referring to Let's Play 45 for this one, because I'm 99.999% sure it will have started by the time you're answering all our questions. Yep, you guessed right, and it's on Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And I think he's doing a pretty good job. What other cartoons are you planning on reviewing bad episodes from? I'm considering reviewing a couple bad Jimmy Neutron episodes such as Carl Weezer Boy Genius for how unlikable Carl is in that episode, and a couple bad Penguins of Madagascar episodes, like 2 Feet High and Rising for ruining Mort by making him obsessed with lemur feet, even though that was never a trait he had in the movies. Do you think Nintendo's game lineup for this year would have been better if COVID-19 never existed? Yes, I think so. They'd have more time to make the games we're looking for if not for the pandemic. The whimsical Makar asks, what do you think of Makar? Wouldn't you agree that he's cute? Yes, he's kinda cute. I think Medley's cuter though. What's your favorite cat breed? I'll have to go with orange tabby cats. If you were a Fire Emblem class in real life, what class would you be and why? I'd probably have to say a sage so I can cast healing spells. But if there was a flying healer class, I'd definitely choose that so I can cast healing spells and fly pretty much anywhere. Tim Dim the Nudero 29681 asks, may you date me, senpai? I mean, what's your favorite YouTuber? Probably CinemaSins. User 1 Campbell asked, have you watched Rooster Teeth's Ruby? No, I haven't. Which do you prefer, Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, or Kingdom Hearts 3? Kingdom Hearts 2, because in the first game, the animations aged horribly, and while I was tempted to go with the third one, the pacing is inconsistent. Have you played the Sonic Adventure games? Yes, I love the first one, but the second one's only decent. William Nee asked, action RPGs or turn-based RPGs? I'll probably have to go with turn-based. What movie trope / cliche annoys you the most? This was not a hard choice to make. When they try to fake you out into thinking characters are going to die, but they don't actually die. That's the cheapest possible way to make your audience feel sad, and it hurts scenes that have real deaths, since people are going to think that said character is going to come back to life, and they won't be able to feel sad until it's too late to feel sad. If you were to bring one dead game series back for a new entry, what would your pick be? Probably the Banjo-Kazooie series. It's time to answer XYZ1's question. Who do you want to appear in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate as a DLC fighter? Sora, even though he's probably unlikely. Would you do a collab with Shy Guy Mask? I don't know much about him, but maybe. It'll probably be hard to because he has over 100,000 subscribers. Yamam/420 all day asks, do you like Novatron? I don't know much about him. I do remember him doing a commentary on my second one-shot on Nathaniel Bandy, and it was hard to tell if Nova was a troll or not because of the way he acted. And I do remember he repeatedly pestered me to commentate his video, even though my commentary on Keyblade Master covered most of the points I would have made to Novatron, so there was really no point. Sorry for getting carried away. It's just that aside from that, I don't know much about Novatron. What do you think about Min Min for Smash? She's a cute character, and she might even get me interested in the ARMS games, but I won't assume right away. Now here's some questions from Zy24. Are you satisfied with the Fighter Pass so far? Kind of. A lot of them are from franchises I don't care about, such as Joker, but there are also some cool additions like Byleth. What is a popular game that you think is oversaturated / overrated? Mario Party 2. What is your most controversial opinion? I hate the song Sexy and I Know It because I think it's disgusting. Zero Door asks, opinions on Paper Mario the Origami King? It's pretty good. It is probably number 3 or number 4 on my favorite Paper Mario games list. It's not higher because it gets very dull about 3/4 of the way through though, especially the confetti and battle system. Zero the Aura Duelist asks, how about making a top 10 saddest Pokemon list with spin-offs included? That sounds like a great idea. I should consider that. But I'd probably have to play the rest of the Mystery Dungeon games first. And part of me is uneasy about playing them because of how awful the gameplay is. But another part of me is considering getting them because of the great stories. Z Pokemon Fan A asks, what Disney World would you want to see in the next Kingdom Hearts that has never been in one? Assuming Frozen 2 doesn't count, then The Incredibles. Well, that's it. Thank you for answering my questions. I hope you enjoyed this Q&A. I'll see you in my next video, and I hope you have a happy Thanksgiving.